Hi there, welcome to a Bonzolium video. I'm doing it older school or different school on my phone. So here's the thing, what I'm going to do, if and when I play the drums, which I will, there will be a period where I stop and maybe touch a couple things. Anything, just to kind of let the limiter that's built into the iPhone or whatever the hell it is, the compressor, kind of realize like it doesn't have to be like this anymore. Because if I start talking right after it, it's like, whoosh. It's great because anyway, you know what I mean? So here I am. I'm in the Bonzoleum studio here in Chicagoland. This is Bonzolium headquarters / studios East, because the original one is West. So it has a different mojo, but I'm telling you, it's a studio. I'm going to get into making better videos. Quality-wise, meaning that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love the old school basement, just sitting here and chatting, but there's a lot of stuff in my brain that I'd like to somehow transfer from my brain to what everybody else sees. Too bad that, like, there's not a cable. You can just be like, but anyway, so here we are. So I'm on I have the 3-piece mojo happening. The reason why I put this up, it is always fun to play a 3-piece. And there was a time back at Guitar Center back in, I went with my cousin Jimmy, actually. I said, Jimmy, would you mind taking me up to Guitar Center? Yeah, I'm telling you. And there was it was a Slingerland red agate. You know what I mean? Like the closest in anyville you could get to like what the hell, you know what I mean? It looked like a bowling ball red, black, pearl, kinda, we'll say. No, actually, no, that's not true. It looked exactly like Roger's red onyx. Sorry, I'm getting my eras mixed up. It was cool as hell. 220s. Wait, was it one bass drum? Maybe it was one bass drum with 3 toms. Anyway, I know there were 3 toms, but I thought it was a 20-inch bass drum or possibly 2. And then I think it was 12, 12, 13. And then a 16. I think that was, and I remember looking at it, and it was like $450 or $475. Because remember in 1984, which this would have been 83, 84, so many folks were, at least here around where I was, I mean, you used to get the trade in time. So many folks were dumping their Rogers, Ludwig, and everything. They were all buying Tama, Pearl, and Yamaha. And the Trading Times, a magazine of that era, was just, I remember looking at so you'd open up drums, so you'd finish this page, have this whole page, some ads, maybe 6 or 7, at least, pages of drums. And if you looked, it was like Rogers. I remember seeing Onyx, Red Onyx, and Dynasonic for the first time. I'm thinking to myself, what kind of like 1950s, 60s, you could see the ad, like the Dynasonic, you know what I mean? I just thought it was kind of candy ass. No offense, I'd never heard or seen it before. Well, not that I was aware. Where we were here in Chicago, it's Ludwig and Slingerland and Camco sometimes. But you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so right now here I have my Ludwig New Sonic, the original spec, and they're gloss black. I was lucky to grab one of those. And it has the silver badge. So it looks just like the 50s, 60s, 60s Ludwig gold badge you'd see on like that stuff. But it's silver. And against the black drop of the gloss black, which isn't super duper gloss black. And this gloss black, this royal jur, it's adhered to the shell in such a way where literally, it will never ever come off. So I have 2 12s here. I missed, if anybody knows of a 9x13 original spec black Cortex New Sonic, would you let me know? I'll pay you handsomely for it. But what I did is I put those 70s Mach, I'll show it in a video later. It's a Mach 5 with the lugs 13, and then here's my 14x14. So right there coming in, here we go, ready? Might clip a little, the nature, so hang on, I'm trying to get my head out of my ass, folks. I have to make a concerted effort to get my head out of my rear end. So here we go, my 12, 12, 13, 14. So that's like a song I'd like to do. I'm gonna be loop king. You know what I mean? So I have like, roll the tape. Jax be like, or Mitch, or anybody who wants to roll the tape. The snare buzz is killing me. Side. There we go. All right, ready? So loop that for a while, right? And then what you do is you have the loop of that going, and then I put the headphones on or any other drum, and you play along to it again, like. So I'm pretty sure that what you could do in Loopberg is like, wow, that one was perfectly matched up with the loop, right? Well, let's just take it and build a whole track. It'll be free. It's not to a click. It's to the Mojo click. You know, if they have loop stations, you can do this. So the problem is, I was just saying this before to nobody in particular, because I'm in here by myself, that for me is a problem. Maybe it's just a handicap I have with the click track as a drummer. Playing discrete notes is it starts out at a fixed position, right? It does, and it stays there the whole time. Do they have smarter click tracks that might move? So if the drummer, like you or anybody, is kind of like, so here I'm playing like. Know when it happens. You know the recordings with like Jim, you know the folks that had like the crazy pocket. They're speeding up and slowing down, but it's really gradual and it's like it's a hand-drawn arc. You know what I mean? Again, without a click track. But when you have a click track, that's fine. It's like I have to really get myself in a mode to play click. I have a hard time. I'm getting a better time of trying to keep it relative. So I'm a little ahead here, so you might think of it as like the 175th note of like you know, and then coming back to it in the next thing. But I still have the defect of when I'm playing to a click, I'm like, all right, well, I'm a teeny bit ahead of it, but I'm playing that click has been in the exact same place I've been going. So it sounds good to the observer, right? But then the problem becomes the imperfection, at least that I have, getting back to the click. I can hear distinct points where I know I'm playing to a click. And let me put it this way, and this is what, anyway, no, so forget about that. But here, anyway, so here I am on the drums. So here I am, this is Bonzoleum Studios East, but it's also Deaf Right Ears Studios headquarters. So I'm here, boys have the day off today, we were here all weekend. You know, Mitch, this is, you know, Mitch, you know, and Mike, see, I'm trying to pretend like I'm an evil boss. You know, like I was going to make up some BS story, like I had them all here yesterday, like singing, you know. But the fact of the matter is, I must tell you, see, it is amazing with these two dudes, because they're both great musicians, but they both can sing really well. Don't get me wrong, I've been in bands with people, you know, I was in a band in particular, Leave, where Jimmy and Murph, each guy, when they started out, had their own sort of styles. And Jimmy, and then Murph too, I think. I know Jimmy, he started to sort of make his style sort of change toward Jimmy, toward Murph. So they really melded well together. The voices were great together. So if you ever can check out, hang on. The band is Leave. There's 3 albums. Wait, are there 4? Did we do 4 or 3? 4. Oh my God, that's what happens when you get older when you're 54. All right, so see how right now I'm trying to get a handle on things? I'm not going to go off on a tangent. I'm not going to remain with that thought. The albums, yes, there was Leave, Don't Go. Remember that? A great album. It's a collector's item in many countries. In my cranium. No, but it really is. It's out of print, man. People, there was talk of reissuing like another 1,000 CDs or whatever. Leave, Don't Go. Okay? All right, and then we had, I'd Rather Not Say. Yes, I loved I'd Rather Not Say. For most of I'd Rather Not Say, we recorded at Columbia. What happened was Murph knew a fella at Columbia whose name was Bernie Mac. He's still around. Not the same Bernie Mac, but Bernie Mac, Great engineer, great teacher. I don't even know if he's still there. But what happened was we recorded for a little while when they were on LaSalle Street. And it was like it was a really cool studio. I found pictures of it somewhere. When we were there, I think it was the first time we were recording there, somebody stuck. To me, it was a U87 or it was a very serious mic. It was either an AKG 414 or a U87. I'm fair, or what's the Neumann microphone for like people on hi-hats, little silver one? You know what I mean? Like the Neumann something or other. Like their version of a SM81 by Shure. Whatever. But yes, with that, I'd rather not say. And then we did, I'd swear there was something after On a Happy Note. Wasn't there? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we did just have Don't Go, I'd rather not say, and On a Happy Note. And On a Happy Note's a great album. Which was Murph's, Murph, there was an accident. He was run over by a car. God love him. And anyway, Murph and Jim and Joe. Oh my God, Joe Herman, the bass player. I go to Starbucks regularly, and there is a guy there that works behind the counter, and he reminds me so much of Joe. I've almost called him Joe a couple times. As well as, I have a neighbor that kind of looks like Joe too, on our block, and I always feel like saying, Joe! Anyway, so here we are in Bonzoleum Studios East, and I'm at the drum kit, and oh my gosh, here, another thing. I've got this gig coming up with the band Cashmere. Chicago areas, like tribute band Cashmere. Oh my gosh, hang on. George and Ty and everybody are in the process right now of heading to the Balkans, to Sarajevo, and because that's where Ivan lives, Ivan. So Ty and George and Ivan and Pete, those four are going over there, and they're going to well lubricate the machine, like, you know what I'm saying? And they will appear on stage, like, the curtain will open. I wonder what they'll open with. I'll bet it'll be old school. Do you think they'll go right? If they go right into Immigrant Song, that's pretty badass. I'm going to tell you, man, Ty up there is going to be singing Immigrant Song with his real voice. Anybody can go, hang on, where's the microphone? Anybody can go, like that, which is in the audience with the mic. Most people are like, they don't even notice. All the diehards upites are like, but Ty will go, instead of, you hear that? He'll go, like he'll sing it, man. Ty can accurately reproduce. He just happened to be able to. He can reproduce Plant. Plant is the hardest to reproduce, I think, because Plant couldn't even do Plant after a while. He can do Kurt Cobain like that. He can do John Lennon like that. He can do any, I'm telling you, he could be like the Rich Little. I'm telling you, he should make videos. Do vocal covers. The backing tracks, the original stuff, just remove the vocal, have Ty go out. But he could just be himself or whatever, but he could also like ham it up a little. I'm telling you. And the unknown vocalist, he has like a paper bag with the two eyes. He could light a cigarette through the eye hole and stuff. Anyway, so just a video here from Bonzolium headquarters. Oh, the Zeppelin gig I'm doing. So yeah, PFOZ about to embark. Remember, keep watching People's Friend of Zeppelin, PFOZ, keep track of them on YouTube, on Instagram, on the TikTok, and everything. They're about to really, it's going to be, I wish I was there sitting on stage left. When you're going to sit and watch a band like that, especially with the drummer you got to be on the hi-hat side. You know what I mean? If it was like a Genesis tribute band and it was George Flutus's cousin Ron, who's a left-handed drummer who loves prog rock, I would sit on stage right. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we're just going to end this. What we're going to do is we're going to end this video because what I've been doing is trying to keep my endurance up. But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you about something, at least so far. At least when I did Cashmere gigs again in 2017 and then 5 or 6. I did 4, 5, and 17. I don't know, like an additional 1 or 2 the next year. So I haven't played a gig with Cashmere for 5 years. It'll be 5 years this November. The Snowstorm gig, where I barely made it home alive. Yeah, so I'm going to have my ambers. So in the near future, I will take these down. Again, my Ludwig New Sonics. And I'll put up the ambers because I need the proper size. I got to get the old foot used to the bass drum again. You know how that is. That's the key. A lot of drummers these days get too focused on stuff like, what's the exact drum set? I'm not knocking them. See, I do know that to me, really, I have realized this, and I've always been a time relative person. Like, I always love the line in Talking Heads. I love the passage of time. I'm fascinated with the passage of time. I love it. Did you know that right now, back to 1985, for today, September 16th, I think, 2023, we go back to Live Aid. That's like going back right now to Live Aid, which to a lot of, I mean, it's yesterday, man. You know, there's Freddie Mercury who stole the show, right? And you go back, well, how many years ago is that? 38 years. Go back 38 years from 1985. 38 years, which is 1947, sorry. So right now back to 1985, right? Brothers in Arms, Money for Nothing, Chicks for Free, My Driver's Ed, Chernobyl, or maybe it doesn't actually, I don't know. Live Aid. There's something else in 85. What was that? What was also great about it? Well, it was just before Peter Gabriel's Soul came out, okay? Anyway, you know what I'm saying? But to me, it doesn't necessarily seem like yesterday, but it doesn't seem that freaking long ago. It certainly doesn't seem like how I would have thought 1985 back to 1947. You know what I mean? Like Roswell, Truman, right? I mean, like Elvis wouldn't even come around for another 7 years. If you really seriously, 1985, like, hey, we're here. Hey, at Original Commons, getting in all kinds of illicit activities. Think back to 1947. So now I think if I see like a senior in high school, and I'm like, you know, hey, you know what's happening? They're looking. If they have every right to look at me the same way as if I'm sitting outside and I'm at White Hen, I'm drinking my 19th bottle of Coke out in front of the joint, and some guy's like, hey, Sonny, what's happening there? I'd probably think like, Dudesicle, how are you? Did you know that there's a high correlation of people that are really friendly and Helpy Halperton and serial killers? See, that's something that is hard for me. Because I'm like Helpy Halperton. I truly, really do care about people. I don't know. Am I on the spectrum? You know, the person on the spectrum has no idea. So I'm trying to talk softer. Remember, I used to work with the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And you used to have to talk very loud there. So I'm trying to tone it down. You know why? Just cause. So anyway, here at the drums. So let's end it playing, okay? So here's a beat. Now wait, so I was gonna make this video in the first place, was when you practice something that you don't wanna do that you have to do, just make yourself do it. Remember the TV show Lost, where Dudesicles were in the basement and they had to push the button every hour and the whole world would blow up or whatever? There's a nice, very great insight to anxiety disorders. You have to do something every whatever or the world will blow up or whatever. So that's simple. But anyway, so pretend like here we are down in Lostville, before like the crew, Peter and John and Mary, whoever come in and go, what are you fellas doing? And it's like every hour you had to just go, okay, every hour for 10 minutes you have to play beat one with your left hand on the hi-hat, keeping time. More videos till next time. Now, right? But it is. A lot of people are like, yeah, whatever. But, you know, in the real world, what really sucks is you can't just sit and freak out and play Zeppelin or the Police, whatever you want all the time. There really is stuff that you actually really just won't kind of pick up as long as you go. And that's like the rote stuff. You know what I mean? Like the gosh damn rudiments. All right, so that's it. More videos on the way. Seriously. And there's going to be more videos with me and Mike and Mitch playing. We're going to do our original stuff. I think we have great tunes. Check them out. Seriously. Close your eyes. DRE stuff. Deaf Right Ear. If you're listening to it, don't think of me somehow in it. Like, you know what I mean? Just think of it as a band that's out there kicking butt. And, you know, all royalties will go to us three, and I will buy a house in the Hamptons. I don't know, wouldn't that be great? Seriously, imagine having, like, writing this. I've been telling people this for decades. Write a song or any chunk of anything art that is a thing identifiable. It is a lottery ticket sitting out there. In my opinion, you see all these companies buying the catalogs of artists, music. If they've done Bitcoin, right, or whatever, that type of thing, they figured out a way to keep track of each and every individual thing. It's not just like a earthquake register photograph thing that somehow registers, so they put the copy. They're going to know if people are paying $1 jillion for the catalog, then the concept of Napster and total free file sharing is a bygone. I mean, there'll be a way, of course, to get around it. But if people are buying that catalog, unless they're thinking just maybe future commercials and movies, there's going to be so much money licensing. I don't know. But anyway, so that's it from Chicagoland at Bonzoleum. Your proprietor, Terry Keating here. Mike Saharsky and Mitch Deason couldn't be here now because they're taking care of business on a Sunday. But we're going to be here, I think, tomorrow or the next, and we're going to be cranking out the tunes, okay? More videos on the way. And that video I put out, if you saw it yesterday, I'm sitting there and I'm playing with the guys. What we're going to do is we're going to take the music re-recorded, how it actually sounds through all the microphones, and just do the exact same video, but hear it how it would sound if you were listening to music, not just the drums. So more videos on the way. Keep coming back. Thank you for subscribing. Tell your friends. Remember, check out Vintage Drummer 79 here on YouTube. Check out Alex Slavin Drums. Check out the drum also waltzes. Check out George Flutis, of course, with Bonhamology. Check out PFOZ, People's Front of Zeppelin. Check out Craig Flowers. Check out the Vintage Drum Podcast. Check out Big Fat Snare Drum. Check out Vintage Drum Chats. I'm sorry, my brain's a little... David Ward on the record. There's this new guy making videos. He's great. He's serious. He's been on for a couple months. His name is Rick Beato. I thought it was Rick Beato, but Rick Beato. Great musician, knows his shite. He just started out. I think he's shot up to 900 subscribers. Anyway, wouldn't that be great if you found the next Amazon stock? So that's it. This is the Irish goodbye. More videos soon. Thank you. And a shout out to Johnny Lefevre for hooking me up with a car down at McCarthy Ford, 114 South Pulaski in Chicago, not far from Riley's daughter. That used to be Quigley's, but was Riley's daughter before that again, which I remember me and the boys were playing a gig down there, first time I ever played Riley's daughter. I went in the bathroom. I think I had to I had to go to the bathroom, and I came out, and there was no soap. It just was the nature of the joint, and I do think that the actual sink that had been there, somebody had probably bounced somebody's head off it and broken the porcelain basin. So, yeah, so Riley's daughter, a new, fresh is down there. I assure you the bathrooms are clean. This was 25 years ago. And the old Riley's daughter, what else? Chicago, come to Chicago. Oh, yeah, Drugan's drums. Drugan's, those guys are the cat's ass. They're up there. Drugan's, two brothers. Of course, Mike's drums out on St. Charles Road. I always forget. I mix up St. Charles Road and Roosevelt sometimes. St. Charles Road. There used to be a music store right near there named Perry's Music. 25 years ago, 30 years ago, I saw a 24-inch original Giant Beat. Of course, the Giant Beat logo, because it was white label, had wiped off. 3 o'clock position. But remember, it didn't say Giant Beat stenciled, embossed. It just said Peisty. I thought it was a Stamble or a Dixie or Bloodwick, whatever. Wrong. It was beautiful. Remember, that's what Bonham played. John Bonham on the 73-75 tours. This is about to run out of juice. And, oh, no, it's not. It's the phone. 73-75 tours. His 24 there is a Giant Beat. A black label. There's a good photograph or two taken. Peisty Bob. I remember 10 or 12 years ago, he sent me he found out, the minute he found out, it was like, beep, 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 beep. He took some high-level scans from the song remains the same. And sure enough, there's a Giant Beat stamp, meaning embossed. He saw that on the symbol during the end there of Moby Dick or something. Clearly. Peisty Bob. He doesn't have his channel here yet. He owns the domain. So Peisty Bob, that's Bob Marzalak. Who else shout-outs to? Berwyn Recording, they're out there in Berwyn. Remember, it's half studio Berwyn Recording, run by Jack Boehmer and his crew, Wiley, etc. And it's Berwyn Recording. It's also the Berwyn School of Music. Okay, and that's terrific. That's on 26th. That's on 26th Street in Scoville. That's actually Berwyn there. It's not quite Cicero yet. There's a great ice cream store near there. There is Riverside Garage, great mechanics. Seriously, my dudesicles and my people, God love them. What else? Alpine Subs in Chicago. You gotta go there. You gotta get a Gene and Jude's. Gotta
Get the pizza at, of course, you got the Pit down on 95th Street. You got Roberts Road at 95th Street. You got, I'm going to see, the problem is when you do this, you miss somebody, and then they're kind of like, you don't love me anymore. Hang on, who else? What else am I missing out? Yeah, so Mike's Drums, Drugan's. Oh, of course, Maxwell's. Both Maxwell's, father and son. They have great stuff out there. Great folks to talk to. George and I are in a video. The old man. I'm sorry. Hopefully you'd laugh at that. What I mean is the dad, Steve Maxwell Sr., great drummer. You see this guy do technique on the snare, man. You'd swear it was like Buddy Morello's hands. When I first met him about 25 years ago, I had no idea. He was or you know what I mean. He was just this guy out there that looked like a college professor that was tapping on a Dynasonic, which in those days they were almost given away because they weren't really collectible yet. But I'm sure Maxwell and some of the other guys. Who was the other Dynasonic guy? Oh my God, love him. He traded me a Ludwig drum. Anyway, so that's it. Check out those folks. Of course, remember again, we have George and PFOC, People's Front of Zeppelin, in Sarajevo, in the Balkans right now. So please go to their page. People's Front of Zeppelin, Bonhamology, George. Remember Ty. Ty is his channel too. Remember Ty and I are still making music. And so that's it. So here's the room. Let me do this. Oh yeah, let me show you the kid from the front. Ready? It's gonna be I'm gonna try and make it as smooth as possible. Look at this. Check that out. I always love this view. It's the best view. Well, at least for videos. If I was watching a band play, I'd be on the other side. So again, there's the 12, 12, 13. See the mock lug? Here are the cymbals. They're made of steel and they have holes in them. The stencil brand that I like the most is Sonic Cake. They have a real, if you prefer like an American Zildjiandum, of course original K, but like an American-made K, there's more of the dry, like Peisty sound, ironically. Not, but it's bright. It's as bright as Peisty too because it had steel and just the nature of it. Anyway, I think they're great cymbals. But I got a couple stencils. There was one called like Amachi and Rosanini. Oh, this one. I'm keeping the 20-inch Resonito because to me, relatively speaking, this sounds more like an A Zildjian. And then the 20-inch there sounds more like a Peisty / K Zildjian. Like a brighter free. And then one over there's the 8. So see the Sonic Cake? They're like, these things, it's like a cymbal pack. You get 14-inch hi-hats, 16, 18, 20. So you get 16, 18, 20. And the 14-inch hats. The hats are cool. They're a little buzzy. Maybe a little tape. Maybe you doctor them up a little. So this is what the drums look like from the front. Here, see, there's the camera I use for the regular Bonzoleum videos, but I forgot the gosh damn sound video card. Got a hole in the head. I know, it's just, remember, I love the bottom sound too, but sometimes when you're just, making your own stuff or just looking, you get the idea. So this is what they look like. Seriously, look at the silver badge on that black Cortex. That's so cool. I beseech Ludwig, if they're gonna, I know they upgraded them. That's the thing I'm just gonna tell you. A black kit like that looked like that, it could cannibalize the higher line. It's true. I love these. If you see an original spec, even of course the reissues, or not reissues, like the third version where they upgraded the spurs and added another ply maple and stuff, they're more expensive now. I mean, the price is not almost doubled. But those are also, they're great drums. They sound great. And it's, what do you pay, $1,600 for a kit? No, and they offered a bunch of new finishes, actually good finishes. And if they're put on the same way these were, the finishes, they're ultra high quality. All right, I gotta get something to eat because I'm starting to feel a little funky in my stomach. What happens is I get hungry now. I feel like, almost like I'm gonna blow chunks. I'm sure that, check this out, isn't that cool? Look at that picture, especially with the snare drum on the side. This is Mitch's microphone. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fill you up with your own soul food. See, I don't even know the words to the songs. I get a lot of the fellas who would be like, what is the matter with you? So here's me, look at me. I'm the progressive guy. I am, I'm telling you, I realized that I watch the progressive commercials. And I mean the progressive guy, the doctor. I mean the guy that's like, hey, can I help you with that? Hey, is that a 9mm? It looks, all right, this is Mike's. This is what Mike sees when he's going down with it. And this is how it'll be moving like this. So we make a video, professional video. It'll be like this. Mike's point of view will be like, whoa. You know what else I did in the videos we did? I actually got so high tech that when I was filming those guys singing Cottonmouth, I actually sit behind the drums was filming. And of course, what I'd do is I'd smack the cymbal at any point. The cymbal was smacked. So it was as if I was playing. Isn't that funny? Oh, it's going to be exactly 30 minutes. We're winding down. 6 seconds. 5,
No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die.